your tacos. You too.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right, Nick, you ready? We go from one to the other. We got Keaton on the line here. Oh, that's your button. Hang on. There we go. All right, Keaton Simons, welcome to Totally Driven Radio.
Thank you so much. Great to be here. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
So we're going to segue into you. Do you have any man crushes that we don't know about?
Oh, what? That's the segue? The man crush segue? I was more interested in the Philly cheesesteaks.
How about you? When you come into Philly?
You guys talking about Philly? Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Philly.
I'm in Philly.
I want to come back to Philly. I love it there. I was there. I played Tin Angel a few months ago.
Oh, nice. Oh, really?
I love that place. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Buddy.
Wow. So, actually, we interviewed your stepfather a few weeks ago, and
very cool.
You've come onto our radar from this now, and the thing that, as I go through and I research, and naturally between Eric and your mom and your real father, it's like everybody was involved in acting, but yet you chose that different path of music. How does that happen?
Well, everybody's always been super musical and really appreciated music and the arts in general. And since my family is involved in film and television from so many different perspectives, my dad is a producer, my mom has been a casting director, an actress, a producer, etc. Eric is an actor, and so on and so forth. To me, it's all just the arts, and music was always something that was a big thing in my family. Everybody loves music. We would always, sing and play, and I've been doing it since I was a little baby. So it was just natural.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, as a matter of fact, like when I go through, and actually I noticed this when I was researching my interview for Eric, and I said this to him, you can just see how truly proud he is of you whenever he speaks
man.
it. That's just such an incredible feeling that you must have.
It is, absolutely. I mean, the support that I get from my family and my friends and my peers is really incredible. I'm extremely fortunate for that. And yeah, definitely, like, Eric's amazing that way, and he's so adamant about it. It's like, hey, even if you weren't my step kid, I'd still love your music. I love that. It's so sweet. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, the one thing he said, and I was going through and I was trying to find, he said that you play guitar better than Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I'm going through and I'm trying to find. Yeah, I'm going to be like, all right, I want to hear like Keaton wail. Is there anything I can find of you, like where you're wailing on? And
you know what I'll do? I'll send you. I recorded a live album, and there's tons of guitar shreddery on that thing.
Nice.
So I'll send that to you, and you guys can check it out. I think you'll really dig it. And I think the next record that I make of my own is going to be a lot more guitar driven, and really gonna connect more on that front for this next one.
Cool. Now, who are some of your influences?
On guitar or just in general?
In general.
Like for music, I'm a big Beatles guy from day one. Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, huge influence for me. Tons of old blues, everything Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, so like Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson, all that stuff. And then I got my degree in ethnomusicology, which is the study of world music. So starting from college, I started listening to music from all over the world and really got heavily into jazz and 20th century classical composition and stuff. And I just my tastes are really eclectic, and I listen to everything. So the way that I handle influence usually is just like I just listen to what makes me feel good, and then when it comes time for me to create, I just kind of let it go and let it come out as it does. I very rarely will intentionally make something sound a certain way to represent a certain influence or anything. I just let it come out.
Well, and you know what? That leads right into my next question, where I was going to say, like, when I go through and I was listening to your music, I mean, first off, you have like just beautiful music. And you can hear, like, your heart, the soul, and emotion that you put into it. Do you, like, take a lot of, like, influences out of your life to help write your music?
Oh, yeah. For me, that's probably the most connected that I feel is when I'm, when I'm performing or when I'm playing music, when I'm entrenched in it. Yeah, it's like I was thinking about that just the other day, and I was just thinking grateful thoughts, just like I'm so glad I can do this, and it's something that I don't have to fight to do. You know what I mean? Like I work really hard, but it's not a struggle, and I'm just lucky for that.
Yeah, that's a bonus. You have to struggle, and it just comes out naturally. That's even more beautiful about it.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
your genre of music has really been becoming more mainstream over the last few years with like people like Jason Mraz, and I mean he's really kind of opened some doors for you guys. And how about like Jason Mraz? Is he one of your influences at all, or?
He's actually one of my friends and collaborators. We co-wrote a song that's on my most recent album called "Is There Any Other Way?" It's one of my favorite songs. And all those guys we've kind of known each other for a really long time and been playing in the same circles in the same scene, and different horses kind of come out in front sometimes and then take turns and switch off, and it really is like a beautiful big community of music. There's not a lot of competitive crap about it, which I really love, because that's something that I've never been into as it pertains to music, is competition. I think we're much stronger united than we are opposed.
One thing I was really surprised on your, at least on the Wikipedia pages, I'm a big fan of, just a guy in a guitar or a guy in a piano. And I also happen to be our sort of teen angst guru here.
Nice.
And I was surprised to see that Tyler Hilton was featured on your record, because, of course, I know him from TV and from his, his albums and stuff. But when I hear that you shred on the guitar, but then Tyler also played piano on your album, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, man. Well, Tyler and I have been friends for a really long time. We were both signed to the same record label for our first record deals were at the same place, and so we got to be friends then, and we've written some really cool stuff together. Played a ton of shows, done a bunch of touring, and then when I was making my last album, I knew I wanted to get him on there. I didn't know which song yet, and he came in, and I think we found the perfect song for it. It was just so beautiful. But Tyler's one of my favorite people in the world, one of the most talented artists you're going to find out there. He is just incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, early on in your career, I saw that you were signed by some, like, the biggies, like Maverick and CBS.
Yeah.
And now you have your own label. Like, what's the difference? I mean, do you enjoy doing it yourself now compared to having the big ones do it for you? Is it better just to...
There's so many. It's such a different world now than it was when I was first, when I first got signed. That was the first label, the one that I was talking about with signing on with Tyler. But yeah, man, I mean, CBS wasn't that long ago. I put out my last record on my own label. It was a ton of work, but really rewarding and really great learning experience. For me, I think I'm wide open to whatever it is. I just need to keep making music and find a way to get it out there. You know what I mean? And it's gotten to the point, really, the way it is in the music industry in general, where it doesn't have to be this or that. It doesn't have to be a major that puts it out for it to become successful. There are a ton of indie labels that are really kicking ass, and people doing it on their own, and so many different avenues of exposure. For me, I'm wide open. I've been talking to a new label, and I'm getting very excited about the work that we're going to be doing together. So, it looks like my next record is going to be put out on a brand new label to me, and people are just incredible. And of course, I'll come back. I'd love to come back and tell you everything, because we're right on the precipice of a bunch of really cool stuff. But it's still a little bit too early to talk about. So as soon as it all comes out, I can't wait to let you know about it.
Look at you! You listen to you. You're getting all jolly over there. You're like, yes.
Dude.
you know what? But doing things by yourself though is kind of like. Not only more rewarding, where you, like you said, but where you have like the freedom to basically create from the heart and do it how you want to do it?
Yeah, well, listen, it's never by myself. I'm only as strong as the team around me, and I've got some incredible people around me that support and that we work together and help me on the creative end and all over the place. It's I would be misleading to say that I do it alone, but certainly from a creative standpoint, it is really nice to have that opportunity. But I love working in collaboration also. That's something that is so thrilling to me. I love partnerships and co-writes and that kind of thing, because I think that you can create something that wouldn't necessarily be able to be created by any of the individuals involved. It's a new thing that gets created. But yeah, I don't know. It's so interesting. It's hard to feel like I'm without influence, because I'm sensitive to everything around me, not only the people but my experiences, other music that I hear and stuff like that. So it's tough to get that real super pure thing, but I'm working toward it more and more.
Now, what do you think is like the biggest or most important way, I should say, to really get the exposure out there now in this modern day? Do you think I'm going to say that, is it YouTube?
It's no one thing. Whatever it is today is going to be different, and that's kind of what the climate is. It's an ever changing, ever evolving thing, and I think that what that allows for is for real talent and real heart, real connectedness to shine through if it's going to shine through. It's no longer a paint by numbers thing, and sometimes it's a fluke, and sometimes it's because of genuine talent,
Right.
If I had a quick answer for that, then I'd be calling you from my private jet.
Nice.
Sometimes I wonder what you have to do. It's amazing how known a person can be, and still so many people don't know them. Even somebody like Jason Mraz, who you think of as being a complete household name that everyone in the world would know who he is. I encounter people every now and then who are like, who? And I just think, where have you been? How does this happen? But it happens with me on a much bigger scale. But it's interesting because you put yourself out there in so many different ways. I do a lot of film and television stuff, and that's one of my favorite things to do with my music. And certain placements I've had have gotten a huge response, and some very little. You never know. You guys just keep doing it and keep pushing it out there. Remember, and keep the connection with the music and loving music. I don't know. For me, if I'm trying to push it out there too much, I feel like I'm spinning in circles.
Yeah. Because I was at I've been at shows at clubs and all, and a band will be like, all right, this next song we're going to perform, we just released on YouTube. And I just remember at one time, like, looking at my wife going, just released on YouTube? Like,
I know.
Like, what happened? Where'd everything go wrong? But then just this morning I saw on the news they had about Psy and Gangnam Style, how that song alone generated over $8 million. And then I was like, I'm just looking at it like, what? And then I had to go pull it up naturally, of course. And it has over 1 billion views.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But those, I don't know. See, I love stuff like that because you can do it. It equals the playing field a bit, which I actually think is great because then it comes down to talent and timing,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what success is, I think, in its purest form, when opportunity and preparation coincide. And so, you get that just creates more opportunity to put your stuff out there. But it's amazing. When you hear anyone's story, it's wrought with struggle and ups and downs, and the feeling of, is this ever going to happen? I know so many people who have been turned down by the same label that ends up signing them and making them a star. It's just
right.
It happens all the time. I've heard, so many hit songs have been played for everybody in the industry, and everyone said, I don't hear a hit, and then one day it gets to the right person at the right time, and it's a smash. It's really hard to kind of pinpoint a formula, except to just love what you do and put your whole self into it. I don't think you can ever go wrong with that. So I'm sticking with that.
Now, you had mentioned that a lot of your music's been featured on TV shows and all. Now,
yeah.
how does that come about? Like, do you get approached by a certain show, per se, and they say, we want to use one of your songs that you already have, or will they come to you and say, can you write us a song to go with this show, or is it both?
It entirely depends. All of the above, really. And over the years, I mean, like early on in my career, I became acquainted with a lot of the music supervisors for various shows, and we became friends. They're fans of my music. I keep them up to date on stuff that I'm doing, and when something fits, it fits. And then there's the situations that are a lot more rare that are just really special and amazing, where one of my dear friends wrote one of my songs into an episode of Private Practice.
Okay.
And and we actually titled the episode after the song, and was the song was a part of the episode. It was written into the storyline, and that happens too, much more rarely. But it's just awesome. I mean, and then there's also placements like they play my music on Delta Airlines and stuff like that. And that's, I mean, honestly, I probably get more responses from people texting me like, I'm sitting on an airplane and you're playing on the radio, or like I'm in a Pier 1 and you're playing on the radio. But you never know. But it's all of the above. I mean, I submit for things when I hear about stuff. I have people who represent me for that, who submit when they hear about stuff. And then also I have wonderful relationships with some amazing people who are brilliant music supervisors. And if they need anything from me, they come to me and I give it to them.
Now, one show, of course, that I'm sure a lot of people have seen is the whole the Celebrity Rehab, when Eric was on Celebrity Rehab. And, I went back and I watched that this afternoon. And watching you perform on there and seeing the emotion that not only just overcame Eric and your mom, but everybody there. I mean, what's the feeling like going through as you're performing and you're in front of this room of people and they're literally just breaking down in tears from your music?
Well, I mean, it's an unforgettable experience every time it happens. Every time that I connect with another person through music, it leaves an indelible mark on me, and I really feel like every performance is an opportunity for that kind of impact, and for me, that's one of the ways in which I'm most fortunate, is that I am passionate about and do something that can have that kind of effect and that kind of connection, and can really, I don't know, just bring people together, allow them to deal with and let go of things that are holding them back. I mean, it's pretty powerful stuff, and that whole experience was just incredible. I mean, on every front, it was just incredible, because I did not go into it, from a publicity standpoint. It was time for me to do that, and it was all real and all personal, and when I played the song of mine called Unstoppable on there, and there was a tremendous response. There were tons of downloads, over 10,000 downloads in just a few days after it aired, and it was just incredible.
Wow. So you have your latest album, which came out last year, Beautiful Pain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's right.
You also have the single off for that, which we're going to play. Now, was that song featured on any TV show? Because every time I listen to it, it's like I can picture, like I thought I could swear I pictured it somewhere, and I just can't picture where.
It's been used in quite a few, and I think they used a snippet of like an early version of it on Celebrity Rehab, either that season or the following season. But man, I don't know, because that song's gotten some really good placements. I did perform it live on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and so maybe I don't know if you watched that show, but that was probably the best shot to hear it. More people were watching that, I think, than anything else.
Wow. I mean, that's such an incredible song. What is The Beautiful Pain? Does it have a meaning behind it, or?
Yes. Well, there's a lot of meanings. For me, I like to just write from my gut and write from my heart. And when I write songs like Beautiful Pain, it teaches me more about myself as time goes on, and as I get closer to the song, I start to kind of uncover different things, the different meanings, and so it's such a wonderful ongoing process. For me, at the heart of it, Beautiful Pain is really just that feeling of being so overwhelmed by beauty and love that it hurts, and sometimes it's unbearable. I mean, there are actually things that I avoid because they're too amazing and too beautiful, and because I certain times I just can't handle it. And I've always had that feeling, but I had never been able to really put it into words, and then I did, and it was really inspired by my girlfriend when I met her 4 years ago, and just being so overwhelmed by that feeling, and I started writing it just really frantically, like right after we met and first parted ways, and it was not long before we were reunited.
Wow. How about we give it a listen?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, this is Beautiful Pain by the one, the only Mr. Keaton. What an incredible friggin' song that is.
Thank you.
I
so
love
much.
the build-up towards the end, the emotional build-up, and then the little soft goodbye.
Thank you. Yeah, totally. Well, thanks, dude.
So, dude, you're an icon. How does it feel to be an icon?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know how I became an icon. Icon status. No, I don't know. Maybe I haven't moved. I think that's what it is. That's all it takes. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm born and raised in LA, and that's pretty rare. And I play here regularly, and I've got some really great fans out here, and there's an amazing music community around here, and I'm quite an active member of that community, and I think if anything, that might be how that happened.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, Examiner.com put out their awards for 2013, and Keaton actually won Best CD for Beautiful Pain and Best Single for Beautiful Pain, and he won the Icon Award as well.
Yep.
So you cleaned up. And actually your PR won, too, for Best PR for an Indie Artist.
That's right. And the big cat out of the bag, that's my girlfriend.
How about that?
So we're a house full of winners over here.
We're
very
winning.
excited.
As Charlie Sheen would say, winning.
Right, exactly. To quote Charlie Sheen, which we probably shouldn't do.
Oh, come on. You know what?
No, I'm just kidding. I love him, man.
I say winning all the time, and I mean that was 2.5 years ago he had his meltdown, and I still say it all the time. And a lot of people are like, "Dude, it's so over. Please stop." I'm like, "Nope, I'm never going to stop."
If you enjoy it, I say keep going.
Exactly.
Sometimes it just feels good. Sometimes when a joke has run itself into the ground, but it doesn't matter. It still just feels good to say.
Oh yeah.
So it feels good.
And the scary part is, I have a bunch of different Charlie Sheen shirts that all just say winning on it. We should make a shirt that's like the evolution of man, but just all Charlie Sheen from his first role to present day. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Let's do that.
Well, one thing that I was going to ask you is my family just recently got back from Los Angeles, and it was our first time there. And one of the things that sort of made me sad that I didn't get to do was go and check out a Hotel Cafe. And I read that you're sort of a regular there, and I was just curious as to whether or not you're there doing things. Because, it starts to get more well-known, can you still get honest feedback on music and stuff there, or has it become like a TMZ place?
No, not at all. No. Hotel Cafe, I mean, sure, it attracts a lot of high-profile and established people and stuff like that, celebrities and stuff, but only because it's so damn cool. It's not a tabloid place in the slightest. In fact, they don't even allow filming inside. So it's really not a tabloid place, and they've seen to it. No, that is one of my favorite places in the world to play. They have been so supportive of me for the last 10 years plus, And I mean, I remember when that place was just like a hallway with a bar and a stage at the end of it, and it was already the coolest place just because the vibe and the caliber of musicians that were in there, the way it sounded and everything, the people that own and operate that place, and they've been steadily improving and expanding, but doing it in such a way to really maintain that vibe. And it's just like it's an amazing success story. Hotel Cafe. Don't have enough good things to say about those guys.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So next time you're around, you got to hang out at Hotel Cafe.
Yeah, I just ran out of time. There was literally so much that I wanted to do. We just ran out of time, you know.
Yeah. What part of town were you staying in?
We actually, you know, obviously my family, so we went to Disney and everything, and man, I can't even remember the name of the town. We were Whittier, actually. That's where it was, where we were actually staying. Yeah.
Gotcha. So a little bit outside, kind of.
A little bit outside, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things a lot of people don't know about LA is that it's really diverse. I mean, there's so many different types of areas. You can, you know, be at the beach and then a half hour, you know, and 5 minutes later you're in the mountains, and 20 minutes later you're in the valley, and 20 minutes later you're in Hollywood. I mean, it's just like there's some really dramatically different types of places. And so I always say when people come out to LA and have a bad time, I always go, oh, you're just in the wrong place. Let me take you somewhere else. You might like that better.
Yeah, I mean, the only real complaint I had is that we had to wait in line for hours everywhere we went, but I mean, that's kind of par for the course.
Yes, it's true. You mean for everything, yeah, for Disney and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was out there one time back in '98. Me and my buddy were out there, and we tried to go to the Playboy Mansion, and they wouldn't let us in.
Oh. Amazing they would let you in.
We literally pulled up to the Playboy Mansion and hit the buzzer and we're we're here. And they're like, who are you? We're like, it's Bay from Philly. They're like, who? What? We're calling the cops. Get out of here. I'm like, oh, okay.
That is so great. Oh my God, I love it. I love that you guys just did that. There wasn't a party going on or anything. You're just like, well,
it was in the middle of the day. It was in the middle of the afternoon. We rented a car. We bought one of the maps of the Stars homes and just started cruising around.
Oh, that's amazing. That's incredible, man. Well, you got to go to the Playboy Mansion when they let you in. That'll be
how about that, right?
Experience. Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. So what do you got coming up next for you?
I'm working on a bunch of new music. Got some shows. You know, the huge, lots of writing and stuff, and getting rather into production, as a matter of fact. And I've always been really heavily involved in the production of all of the music that I've done, and I've gotten to work with some of the best producers in the world, and so I've learned a lot. And I'm still always learning, and been able to do a little bit in production and having a really good time doing that as well. But,
cool.
You know, for me, I'm focusing on this next record for me, the next direction, and then what that all means. You know, I really want to follow my gut on this one and just let it be raw and let it really be me, not try to kind of fit into any kind of construct. You know, even though there's nothing wrong with that, I just think it'd be a good time for me to do that.
Nice. Well, we wish you luck with everything, and when the new album's ready to come out, you have to come back on and promote it. And when you go out to Philly, we're getting cheesesteaks.
Dude, we have to get. Do you have a favorite place? Favorite? I mean, you can't say, can you? I don't.
No, I want to. You know, I'll say Geno's. I always say Geno's.
Okay. I don't.
Out of the two big ones.
I've never been to Tony Luke's. But I really want to go to Tony Luke's. But Jim's is my personal favorite. I've done Pat's and Geno's, you know, one in each hand, compare and contrast. I mean, they're all great for what they are. But for me, like I don't know. That's always been my favorite. I really want to go to Tony Luke's.
How about
so maybe we'll go there.
Pizza fan?
Yes, I'm a pizza fan as well.
To take you on South Street, have you ever been to what's it? Lorenzo's on South Street.
Let's do it.
The pizza's the size of your head.
Oh, awesome.
If you get a whole pie, they can't even fit it in a box. They got to put it in 2 boxes.
How does that even work? Oh, they split it up. And I'm like they have like a double box, whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
but
it's funny.
no, we have to do that. We have to do that.
Cool.
That'd be fun.
Very cool. Keaton, thanks so much. And
thank you so much.
Can I get you to cut an ID for me too before you go?
You got it. Give me something to say.
Whatever you would like to say, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Oh, Totally Driven Radio. This is Keaton Simons. Let's go get cheesesteaks. You're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
I like that.
How
Nice.
about that? You like it?
I like it. Cool.
All right, Mama. Thank you so much, man.
All right, man.
Have a good one, you guys.
You too. It was great talking to you.
All right. Talk soon.
See you later. All right, everybody. There you go. Keaton Simons, the icon.
That's right. He's got the award to prove it.
He's got the award to prove it. So we've had a legend and an icon on the show tonight, and an incredibly funny person.
And the Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street. How about that? What a trifecta of a show tonight's been. Wow.